Actors Daily Bread. This is episode 132. Today we're talking about the money. Let's talk about the money. Y'all want to talk about the money? Stay tuned. What's up? I'm Christine Horn, professional working Hollywood actress of 20 plus years, and I'm a life and career coach for actors just like you. This is Actors Daily Bread, where I teach you how to crush your auditions, book more work, and live a life that you love. And I'm so excited to be here. If you are new to me, I want to welcome you. And this is your first time watching Actors Daily Bread, I want to welcome you, and all my replay watchers who will watch this later. What's up, replay watchers? Hold on, I'm sitting on this pillow. Come on, you guys, jump on. Let's dig in to the content tonight. All right, got this together, got my table. All right, so as you come on, make sure you say hello. Give me a shout out. Let me know where you're watching from. I am not live on Instagram tonight because I didn't feel like dealing with it. But that's the truth. But today I want to talk about the money. So listen, I know I was going to come on over the weekend. I said I was going to go live on Saturday. But what had happened was, I really needed a day to myself. I was a little burnt out. I was a lot burnt out. I had a very, very busy week last week. And I spent Saturday at the spa. At the Korean spa, honey, getting scrubbed down in and out of hot tubs and saunas and steam rooms. And I just loved on myself. And I want to encourage you guys to do the same if you ever get an opportunity. So that's why you didn't see me this weekend. And then yesterday I had some personal business. And sometimes we just need time. And I don't ever like to show up for you when I'm not 100% or in a place where I can truly give freely and from the heart. But I do want to pick up from where we left off last week. Again, this is Actors Daily Bread, and for the past 5 live videos, I was really talking to my group 2, what I called my group 2 actors. My My group 2 actors. I was talking really about for my advanced actors who really wanted to see what it looks like to work full time as an actor and what that looks like on many levels. We talked last week about creating a guest star mentality, for those of you who tuned into that. Then we talked about, I really catered to my Broadway theater actors and talked about transitioning from theater to film and television, which was a big hurdle for me in my career. And I spent a lot of time trying to make that adjustment. And it was a big chunk of time where I wasn't working at all. Not in film and television. I was doing other things to stay busy. What's up, Tarnisha? Beautiful. I see you. Group 2 in the house. And we also talked about embracing your power on set. And then we talked what we called Real Talk. And I had a guest, Melissa Blue from Rock Your Reel, here last week. And we talked for about an hour. And then we talked about collaborating with your representation. And we talked about training casting directors and how to see you and how to make yourself easy to cast. And before I go into today's content, let me just give a shout out. I will post a picture later. If you follow me on Instagram or on Facebook here, you'll see a picture come a bit later, if not tomorrow. But, I am so blessed, as are you, but I am so blessed that I get to coach hundreds of you across the United States. Some of you are in the UK and South Africa. And I want you guys to know that, I get invested in y'all. I know my clients who are in the Booking Magnet Academy, Hollywood Bound actors, my private clients, y'all, I think you get a feel for that, but I'm not quite sure if you truly get it. So today, and I'm going to get to the content, but hang on. Today, I got to actually meet a client in person. And see, it's so weird because my mind feels like I know you. Like Tarnisha, I feel like I know you. I know your dreams. I know your goals. Like Arisha, Stephanie, Marilli, Tiffany, Nadine, Denise, Trafina, Sabrina, Heaven. I know so many of you, Ernest, Brian, some of my OGs, and today, shout out to Sabrina and her daughter, Cortland. Now, as you guys know, I don't coach kids directly. I love kids. Tarnisha's the same here, right? So I don't coach kids directly, but what I will coach is a parent. And I will coach parents on the strategies that I use to further my career and have them translate that to their kid. And I have to give a huge shout out to Sabrina, whose daughter is Cortland. They're based in Atlanta. And Cortland had a call back here in LA today for a big project. Can't say what it is. But, you know, her mom said, you know, Christine, all I've been doing is what you said to do. And I want to give special kudos to any of you parents out there who are not only, Ernest, I see you, what's up? Who are not only, my parents out there who are not only juggling your life and your family and working, but take the time to invest in your children. My mother invested in me, but I wasn't a film TV kid. You know, I did theater, so my mom drove me all over the place. What's up, Nadine? I see you, beautiful. But, you know, I coach some parents on how to get their kids to the next level, and they get to skip the line by just using the techniques that me at 40 years old use. And this is stuff that I teach you. And I got to actually, she had her call back, and I was like, I'm going to meet you guys. Meet me here. And we spent 2 hours together, me, her, and her beautiful chocolate baby daughter. I love her. Shout out to Cortland. And I'm going to post pictures of that later. But I just want to say to all of you who watch me often, who are loyal listeners and loyal watchers and who are clients of mine, don't underestimate this screen here. When you guys post, when I'm like, ask questions, what are you going through? How can I help you? Like, I truly, yes, I have my own life and career, but I truly get invested, and I feel like I know you guys. So when I actually get to touch you and hug you, and shout out to Cortland and Sabrina who give the best hugs, it just warms my heart. But, you know, we kind of started talking about this over our early dinner tonight, and it was the subject of tonight, and tonight is about the money. Acting full time and what that actually looks like. And, you know, what I do know, you know, money is a sensitive subject for many people, just human beings in general, right? But certainly amongst actors, no one wants to talk about it. No one's ever going to tell you what they make. And listen, this video is not about, hey, this is what I made on X, Y, or Z, but I want to give you a reality check of what that looks like, because here's what I know. And hey, as you guys pop on, say hello, let me know you're watching, where you're watching from, give me some love, whatever. And again, let me just put it in the screen for those who will watch this, who are just popping on. Hang on. Actors Daily Brad. Yes, I can't believe we're at episode 132. So, you know, I'll be honest. When I was doing Broadway or touring, or even when I had my first few co-stars, me and my friends, we'd be like, oh my God, when I get a guest star role, I'm gonna be balling, I'm gonna be doing whatever, I'm gonna quit my job. And, you know, and there was a reality check that happened when that time actually came. And what I want to share with you tonight is, because you're my group 2 actors, I want you to know 2 things. I want you to know that acting full time is possible, but it really depends on your location and what kind of acting you're doing. Because what you're going to find, and what I have found over the years was, I assumed, oh, because I saw so-and-so actress be a recurring guest star on a season, or maybe she was a recurring guest star, excuse me, Nadine says, tell it. I'm gonna tell it, Nadine. Or you might be a recurring guest star here and there, like not on a contract. You might be like, if there's 10 episodes, maybe you're a recurring guest star on 5. Like, you guys know, a lot of you know, I was a recurring guest star on a show called Complications. It was on the USA Network. I think it's still on Hulu. Check it out. Help me get some residuals, right? But, you know, it depends on where you're based. You know, it depends on if your contract is out of New York or LA or Atlanta or Virginia or New Mexico. It doesn't, you know, if you're working as a local hire versus being hired out of where the show originated, where production is. And I want to say this. It can be very lucrative. But you have to diversify your portfolio. So just as you would with your money, if you invest in an IRA or 401k or just your savings account, you need to diversify where you have your money, right? And as an actor, if you really start paying attention All the celebrity actors you know and love, they're not doing just one thing. Viola Davis, honey, she may be on How to Get Away with Murder, but she's also the voice of Delta Airlines. When I get on Delta, I hear her voice, right? I hear her on the thing. Like, you see actors with clothing lines and perfumes and baby products I think we've gotten so used to, oh, she's just a celebrity. It's natural for them to explore other options. But I want you to start putting yourself in the same category as those celebrities you know and love. You have to start diversifying yourself right now. So for an actor, that may look like you do commercials for the big dollars, and then you do film for your passion projects, and then you do TV because you get that, that residual income comes a lot easier than maybe film. There may not be as many film projects. And so I want you not to be so trapped into locking yourself in, because it's imperative that you start seeing where else you can get some coins. I hope you hear me. And especially for my Southeast actors, I know I have a lot of you as clients. The reality is, in the Southeast, you're getting a fraction. I know people are going to be mad at me for saying this. Oh, well. In the Southeast, you get a fraction of what you should be getting. Point blank, period. It's why I left. I love Atlanta. I love the Southeast. There's plenty of work there. People are like, why you leave? Well, I want to get paid. I want to be the star of the show. But I do understand, and I'm not trying to crap on, Nadine said, come on with the truth. I'm not trying to crap on the Southeast. I love Atlanta. I still work in Atlanta from time to time. My point is, you have to understand what you're giving up based on where you live. So I know I have I'm going to speak to the Southeast just a little bit more because I know a chunk of you are there. For those of you in the Southeast or even in Chicago, I know I have a lot of Chicago actors out here too who are watching me. When you work local, even on a big show and you're local, the productions come to get local talent at a local rate. So if it's between you and if it's between Tarnisha and Nadine, I'm only saying it because you're both on the screen. If it's between Tarnisha and Nadine, but Tarnisha's based in Atlanta and she's great, and Nadine's based out of LA and she's great too, but they're kind of equally great. Maybe Tarnisha might be a little less great, but she'll save me $7,000 to $15,000 to $20,000. I'm gonna book Tarnisha, and that's what it boils down to. So we make choices. And so when it comes to acting full time, when I worked in Atlanta, I always had multiple hustles. I actually had a lot of you know who have been following me for a while. I worked for over 15 years for a nonprofit organization. I worked with people with disabilities and helped them find work. That was my passion. That was the work that I did. I was grateful to have a job that meant something to me. It wasn't slinging burgers or slinging drinks. It was something that I felt for me, and I don't mean any disrespect to any line of work, but for me, it made a difference in my life. But that was a reality because Atlanta did not have enough national union commercials. So whereas in LA or New York, there's a lot of actors who can make their living just off national commercials. And then every now and then they can do a television show and be cool. I've talked to a lot of LA actors who were thinking about moving to the South or to the Southeast, and they realized, ooh, there's not enough union work? Oh, there's not enough commercials? Oh, not enough union commercials. I don't want to get no hate mail. I'm speaking my truth. But I also want to talk about money in this regard. When I was doing multiple co-stars, and feel free to ask questions as you go, because I'm sharing. I give myself some time. Tarnisha, I'm not going to put you on the clock today. I know I have 15 minutes, more minutes. I gave you guys 30 minutes today. I know when I was doing co-stars in Atlanta, I used to look at people who were doing guest stars and be like, man, when I get there, I'm going to be good. And what I'm here to tell you guys is it ain't what you think it is. Okay? So let's talk numbers. So if you have not done so already, if you don't know what scale is, if you don't know what scale is for a regular day rate, I need you to go to the SAG-AFTRA website. Tarnisha or Nadine, could you please put that in the links for me, in the comments for me, just because I'm on this other I'm on this third-party app. Let's talk money. If you don't know what the rates are, go to the SAG-AFTRA website and look up or you could just Google scale, like rates, SAG-AFTRA rates 2018, or whenever you're watching this video, put the year. They'll tell you what the scale is. And for those of you, my group 2, you guys, I'm not going to do that. Group 2, you know what that is. So scale. So even in places like LA and New York, a lot of guest star things will still pay scale based on how many days you're working. So you may get scale for the day if it's a 1-day guest star, and if your rep bumps it up, it could go, you know, anywhere from scale to it's negotiable. So that's why I'm stuck. So it could be scale and up. It can be scale and up. And if it's scale for like a week might be like $3,000-ish. But if you do like a comedy, like a sitcom, what they call top of show, scale at that could be $5,000 to $6,000 for that week. If you do a guest star and then like you end up working 2 weeks or something wonky happens, you can get paid like 8 to 10. Like that's around the bottom area. So yes, it goes higher. As you're more famous, your rate goes higher. I'm giving you scale levels so you have an idea of where I'm coming from right now. But all of this is available on the SAG-AFTRA website. But what your agent or manager will negotiate, hey Kathleen, I see you. What your agent or manager will negotiate is something higher beyond scale. And a new thing happened at the top of 2018 that some of you may or may not know about was that they can't ask for quotes anymore. So this is something my agents taught me because I booked right at the top of the year. And there used to be this thing where you could book something and they'd be like, okay, what's her quote? Which means, what did she make before? Okay, so Christine booked something with ABC. Tarnisha booked something with CBS. What was her quote on that? Which means, what did she get per episode? Was it 30,000 an episode? Was it 40, 50,000 an episode? And when I say those numbers, I'm talking series regular rates, by the way. And if you come in at no quote, that means you hadn't previously had a quote. So they may start you, they're going to lowball you. 20,000, it depends on the network. Could be 15 to 20, 30. And it used to be where every time you test or get a screen test, your quote builds upon the last. So if they offered you 30,000 an episode for a series regular, then the next time they would offer, you know, they'd be like, okay, we'll come in at 36 or we'll come in at 45. And then, you know, with the series regular, when you test, they have to set out in advance what you'd make for 5 to 7 years. So you'll know walking into a test, as soon as you walk in, I remember when I had an ABC test, I walked in, I'm not going to say those numbers, but I walked in and I knew what I could, if my show got picked up, I saw what I would be making for the next 7 years. And you can't, there's no like renegotiating that, like that's in writing, that's a contract. So, and that's for series regular, right? And that's if your show gets picked up. So the reality I'm trying to share with you guys tonight, and I know no one's talked to me on these numbers. You know, I love television for many reasons. I love the thrill. I love the cameras. I love the technique. But, you know, coming from I have theater on one side and I have TV on another. I really love television as a business person because of the residual income. I don't have to do 8 shows a week. As much as I love theater, I don't have to do 8 shows a week to be able to live. I literally live. People think I don't live off coaching actors. I live off my career. I live off acting. What I love about doing TV, it happens fast. There's roles coming out every minute. And and there's residuals. And residuals, if you're wondering, will take, if you say you did something in August, something aired in August, you may not see those residuals till maybe February because SAG is backed up. I can't wait till they go to direct deposit residuals, but right now they're not there. And so you can be like, okay, 5, 6 months down the line, oh, that's going to be bringing me some checks. And residuals get smaller and smaller, but that definitely does help. And commercials, like I said, commercials are your bread and butter. And for me, as a film and TV actor, I don't have a ton of time for commercials. I go on them. You guys know I booked a national Walmart last year, and that was nice. But you know, those don't come all the time. But, you know, I think of people who don't confuse doing a national with being a spokesperson. Progressive, Flo the progressive lady, or the church chicken lady, or the Sprint guy. Like, those people are spokespeople for that brand, which means pretty much that brands own them for a chunk of time. It's like doing a series. So they're paying you very handsomely to not do anything else. And that's where you have to start deciding, what am I doing for a career, for fulfillment? And a lot of you I know would be like, fulfill, shoot, you can fulfill this bank account. And I'll be writing my scripts while I cash my checks. That's what a lot of us are thinking. Hold on, let me drink some water. But see, stuff like that, you can certainly live off. You can become rich off of that. Honey, Flo don't got to work no more. She don't want to. Flo ain't got to work. But if I was Flo, honey, I'd be cashing them checks and writing scripts, producing stuff. Like, I'm not saying she is or is not. I'm just speaking for me. Let me check the comments here. Hey, Samantha, I see you watching. Trafina says, are they always projecting that far into the future, 7 years? Yes, Trafina, the average contract for series regulars are typically 5 to 7 years. So, honey, you sign on that bottom line, that network owns you. To not work for anyone else. So if you become a series regular, you sign that contract, you have to now get permission from them if you want to do something else. The church, and forgive me, I don't know the church's chicken lady, and that's not her name. And I know friends who actually know her as a friend. I mean, no disrespect. I just don't know her name. But I know, you know, when she's done other projects, she's been in some other TV projects, but she has to get, you know, you have to get clearance because they own the bulk of your time. So you have to get permission to say, hey, this TV show wants me, and it shoots in this window. Will this work? Can we work this out? And the longer your relationship is, the more understanding they'll be and they'll work around you. Even like when you're on a series, you know, look at Sterling K. Brown, who's on This Is Us, you know, who managed to shoot a film. Like, there's ways to work it out. But in the beginning, you know, you are devoted to the person who was up first, what we call in first position. But you get paid handsomely to make sure that they come first. But I just want to really express that when I was not at this place I'm in, I assumed the place I'm in right now, where y'all see me, I assumed that I was rich. I assumed that guest stars, recurring guest stars, hell, you know, were like just balling. I mean, you see people in TV shows on Netflix and stuff. Orange is New. I'm not going to say names. Let me just stop. There are plenty of shows where people are not making the money that you think they are making. And that's not to discourage you, but it's to keep you aware that you need to diversify your talents, diversify your skills. So if you do voiceovers, do some voiceovers, do commercials, do film and TV, you know, because they all add up to the one big pot. And each of those gigs will also, of course, help you with additional gigs. But I just want to really put that in your brain that, especially based on where you are, the work may not come that consistently. And if all you are getting is scale for every gig that you do, you can't live off that. Period. You have, and I'm the queen of having multiple hustles. Before I moved out here, I mean, I kept a job. I kept several jobs. I've always been an entrepreneur. So I've had all kinds of things going on. And I want to encourage you to do that. And again, I'm saying this to you tonight, being very transparent, not to discourage you, but so that there's not a la-la land you're living in. Because you can work consistently in whatever market you're in. You can be in Baltimore, Virginia, Atlanta, New York, LA. But if you're not getting paid the rate that is going to, because if you only get scale, when your residual comes back around, you usually get a fraction of that day rate. And so it starts, maybe your residual was $500 and then it only gets smaller. How many of y'all out there done got a 1-cent check? Talking about residuals. Who is it? Oh, that's 1 cent. The bank is like, the ATM don't even read that. I say thank you, God, for every penny. But yeah, I just wanted to shed some light on that. Do you have any questions or comments? And the reason why I can't get so specific is, yes, the more famous you get, the higher your pay rate, clearly. But I'm not talking to famous people right now. We talking. And the reality is, people don't, yeah, Shafina, you said it exactly right. Shafina says, I appreciate this. This is the real deal stuff that nobody ever tells you about. No, not even your friends who are actors. Nadine says, yeah, 32 cents is, at least that's taking it. Honey, but truly, I say thank you to every check. When I see a penny on the ground, I say, oh, God, thank you. Every time I see a penny on the ground, I pick it up. People are like, you picking up a penny? Hell yeah, I'm picking up a penny. That reminds me of God's abundance. You say no to a penny, you say no to $1, you say no to $100. Every penny counts. So I say thank you. Those come, I say thank you. But that is another, just so you guys know, the reason why I really love television outside of the acting, I love the consistency it brings to my income. And so if I can implore anything on you, is to do more television, because there's more opportunities, there's more diversity. Film, though I love film, there's just not enough films written per year to like employ all of us. Though TV, every television show could have 10 to 22 episodes. So there's more opportunities for us. So I can theoretically do a bunch of TV shows in 1 year. And I'm like, I can look at if you look at my IMDb, you can see, okay, she's done this many TV shows. Well, all those are going to, wow, those kids are loud. All those are going to fall into residuals for 5 to 6 months from now. And then that's just going to be money I'm not having to work for. And me and my entire team are happy for extra checks. But you have to diversify because that's the only way. I have like a couple more minutes if anyone else has something to say. I see something here. Hi, Boquisha. Truth in that every penny counts. Absolutely. Boquisha, I haven't seen you on this live on my live before. Welcome. You're a new face to me. Trifina says, so let's say I audition for something and book a series regular out the gate. Yes, happened to me, 2016. Should I expect to be automatically lowballed since I'm not famous yet? Yes. 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 But guess what, Trifina? In the life of Trifina prior to this, it's not really lowball, is it? In the life of Trifina prior to this, you offering me $25,000 an episode, is it really lowball? Is it? Is it? To work 5 days out the week? Is it? If you get called every day. Because you could be series regular and not work every day. I was talking to another girlfriend of mine. Trifina's laughing. I was talking to a girlfriend of mine, and she's a series regular she's a friend of a series regular on a hit show. I won't say the name, but she only works maybe 1 or 2 days out of the whole week. Out of the whole, like each episode takes 8 days, and she may work 1 or 2 days. So she's getting paid whatever her rate is to work 2 days? Come on. So yes. And in the age of, again, not being able to disclose your quote now, that's new. It just started this year. They have to offer a fair offer. But honey, when I like those checks. I do. I love those checks. So yeah, don't look at it. Shift your paradigm. It's more than you've been making. Trifina, I know for a fact that you and I both did Lion King. Shout out Lion King, and all my Broadway theater people. You work your ass off for 8 shows a week, and the check is good. But your perspective changes when you can make this in 8 days, if you get called to work 8 days, which you rarely do, versus, how many months do you have to work? She said that definitely beats 8 shows a week. Yeah. So as much as I love theater, I love it. And I'm sure I saw Kerry Washington at the Tonys talking about she's coming back to Broadway. I'm like, yes, come back to Broadway. I want to come back to Broadway as a star for a featured season. Because, those celebrities, they don't stay. They don't do like 8 years. They do a little stint, which is real cute. Just enough to get that Tony now. Yeah. But that's the whole sidebar. Any other questions or thoughts? I know this is such a broad topic, but I wanted to at least touch on it. But hold on. They like playing Frisbee or something. Hold on. They're like, hey, it's 8 o'clock. Let's play games outside. Let me just sift through the comments, see if there's anything else here. All I just know is when I was coming up, I didn't know. And I made lots of assumptions about people I saw on television. You know, you may have family members, for those of you who are working in television, your family members, cousins, second cousins coming out the woodworks. Hey, girl. You be like, that's already spent. I spent that on rent and health insurance. Like, I'm looking through the comments. Feel free to ask anything before I get out of here and go walk the dog. Nadine said the Verizon guy works for Sprint now. Yes, he does. He's getting all those checks. Okay, Tarnisha and Nadine shared the link. Okay, that's all I see here tonight, you guys. Thank you so much for. Ooh, pardon me. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad to be connected to you. If you do have some questions after this goes off, you can ask me. Certainly, rates are based on a per person situation, but I did want to shed some light today based on the reality of where you live and what that can look like. And, you know, and don't be discouraged, my Southeast actors, and even my actors who are just not in LA or New York, or the two major markets. For those of you in Chicago, Virginia, Baltimore, New York, not New York, but some of the outskirts. A lot of times we take gigs for things that are worth more than money. I want you to remember that. There are times that you need to take a gig. You should. If I was coaching you, I would advise you to take the gig because of the clout it will give you, because of the demo reel footage it will give you. Stuff like that is worth more than, you know, that extra $200 that your agent negotiates. If someone said, hey, Ernest, I want to book you for this movie. You're going to be in a scene. It's just you and Denzel. He's going to say this and you have 3 lines. Honey, you can give me $28.58. I'm going to take it. You know why? Because I'm in a scene with Denzel Washington. And all I need, that'll be the first thing on my reel. Me and Denzel. And that is going to pay for itself. Do you feel me? So don't be discouraged. Work this industry. Work it. Be like, okay, there are plenty of things. I'm like, okay, well, that's like, I can't talk about that. When I went to Hawaii to shoot a project, like, there were some pros and cons. But you were also flying me to Hawaii, flying me first class and putting me in a hotel. So if I took a couple, you know, pros and cons. All right, you guys, this was, Ernest said, right, awesome. Well, I hope you guys found this helpful. If you have any questions, something comes up, you know how to find me. If you're not part of the Hollywood Bound Actors Facebook group, come on and join us. Just, you know, everybody in this group, almost pretty, I think watching tonight is part of the Hollywood Bound Actors Facebook group. But if you are looking for assistance getting to your next level and want a coach that will push you and challenge you, you can go ahead and apply to speak with me at coachmechris.com. The link is above or below. Have an amazing night. I know it's late on the East Coast. Get some rest. I love you guys. Keep pushing. Stay encouraged. You have a gift that the world needs to see, so don't forget it. Don't let this heat distract you. I know it's hot. People in the pool, traveling. You can still travel and love on your family and friends, but don't forget to love on your career in the process. Night.